Hello guys, I'm here again to do the vlog, continuation of my vlog, which talks about pornography and masturbation addiction and my personal testimony. Now let's have a recap of my previous video, which I posted yesterday. So, to talk about this problem, to give you a recap, what happened to me before was I was introduced to pornography and masturbation at a very young age. I was 7 years old, and this problem of mine persisted for until it started when I was 7 and until very recently, and until I was 32 years. So I was addicted in a sense because I was viewing pornographic images and videos daily. So it would follow that when you're viewing pornographic images, you'd also do masturbation. So I was doing this on a daily basis since I was 7. Could you imagine the gravity and the problem of my addiction? So I was really feeling that I was in a state of hopelessness back then. I was feeling desperate and hopeless because I thought of myself as this is it, I will really be like this forever. And it was very ironic because also when I was growing up, I was raised in a very devout Catholic family, but and plus I was also very active in our church, in the Catholic Church. I was a preacher. So it's very ironic when I was preaching the Word of God, but deep inside I was also in a state of mortal sin. So that's why my wife, who knows me personally, feels disgusted about me before, because I was preaching the Catholic faith, the catechism, but deep inside she knows how rotten I was. So and from this problem this main problem is the root cause. This root cause problem made me commit a lot of mistakes in my life. It made me lose my family relationship, especially with my wife, and eventually with my kids. See, so with this problem arose too many problems because of this root problem, and we have to really talk about this because this is a silent problem that is going on with every family, with every teenager, with every person, but no one talks about it openly. Now we have to really tackle the issue because, as for me, it has caused me tremendous problem and trouble. It has made my life away from God, because we have to know that when you are committing this viewing of pornographic images and you are masturbating, you are separating yourself from God. Why? Because you are committing you are in a state of mortal sin. You are committing a mortal sin, and when we are in a state of mortal sin, we are turning away from God. It is not God that is turning away from us. It is us separating ourselves from the grace of God. So that is my life before, and now this video will tackle how did I overcome this addiction, this problem. Now mind you, and believe me, before this conversion story happened, I was really hopeless. I tried before. There was many times I tried to stop doing masturbation and viewing of pornography. It would be okay for like a couple of days, but after a while it will revert back. I will go back to the same cycle, and you will feel hopeless when that happens, right? Because you will feel like, oh, nobody's it's not, I'm a hopeless case. I can't overcome it. I can't overcome this problem. So that's what happened to me many times. Now, my conversion story started when I had a deep problem with my wife. Now, my wife and I have been, this is my background. I have been married for 11 years since 2008. So we celebrated our 11th wedding anniversary last June 2019. So we have been married for 11 years. And the problem, the conversion story started when I was in the lowest of my lows. That was the time when my wife decided that she would leave me because I'm a hopeless case. I was being unfaithful to her. You see, because of this problem, because of this complex, the root cause of your problem, this would transform into many sins. So from this root problem, my addiction to pornography and masturbation, this caused me to sin many times. So many problems arose from this. So having affairs with was one. See, being unfaithful. See, it's the root cause of the problem. Now, when my wife was ready to leave me, I was in my lowest of lows. Then I started to regret what I did. So my conversion story started when I was so desperate. So I went to the church and I approached a certain priest and I went for a confession with him. So I confessed my sins to him, and what happened was this priest, I realized, or when I got close to the priest, so this priest that I came to was assigned to my parish recently. So he just got transferred or got borrowed from our parish, because the permanent priest was on vacation to the Philippines. So he got assigned in Al Ain, UAE, because the permanent priest was on vacation. So that was the time that I met this priest and I confessed my sins to him. And he was very prayerful. He told me that by God's grace, you are forgiven from your sins and you don't sin anymore, and God's forget about your sin. You are made fresh and made you have a clean slate. So he told me something like that. So in his presence, when I got to confession, I felt the sincerity that I felt the sincerity of that confession, and I felt really his genuineness to help me. And he told me that he will pray for me, and that he will pray that I will be okay with my wife, and I would be able to renew my life. And I felt the genuineness, and from that moment onward, I began to attend the Holy Mass daily. I began to recite the Holy Rosary daily. I began to pray the 3 o'clock prayer daily. I began to read the daily Bible reading daily. So these are the 4 keys that has made my conversion. So from July 2018, I started doing these things. So these are my secrets how I overcame this very, very impossible problem. So number 1 was my confession to the priest. So because I know for one that I cannot receive the Holy Eucharist if I was in the state of mortal sin. I was a catechist before I told you, right? So I know for a fact that I could not receive the Holy Eucharist. That's why when I was ready to attend the Holy Mass before the Mass, I approached this priest, and that's why he made the confession. So I confessed to him. So these are the four things that made that helped me change my life around. So that was July 2018. I started to go to confession. I started to attend Holy Mass whenever I can, whenever I'm off, whenever I'm free. I started doing the Holy Rosary daily. I started praying the 3 o'clock prayer daily, and I started reading the Holy Bible daily. So these are the five, not four. The 5 things that has changed my life around. And the most impact of this are because the daily rosary before my conversion, I was doing it daily. Could you imagine? I was doing the Holy Rosary daily. I was reading the Bible daily. I was doing the 3 o'clock prayer daily. So I was doing these 3 things before, but still I had the pornography addiction, the masturbation issue. I could not overcome them. But when I did these 2 additional things, these are the attending the Holy Mass daily and going into confession daily, it changed my life around. So I could truly attest the power of confession and attending the Holy Mass afterwards. Because for a fact, we know as Catholics, we know that when we receive the Holy Eucharist, we are receiving Jesus Himself. I'm living with in an accommodation, so I'm with many colleagues, so I had to pause the video for that. So, guys, what happened? My secret to overcoming my pornography and masturbation addiction was 5 things. The 3 things I've been doing before: I have prayed the Holy Rosary, I read the daily Bible reading daily. I did this daily before. I did these 3 things daily, and the 3 o'clock prayer. I did these things 3 daily, but to no avail. I did not overcome my pornography addiction. So when I added 2 more, this was attending the Holy Mass daily and going to confession daily. Going to confession, I turned my life around. So it helped me overcome this problem that I had. So this is the key, guys. I saw the key in these 2 things that I add, which is go to confession and attend the Holy Mass whenever you can. Right now I'm off, guys. So right now I'm off. This is my first day off. After this, I will attend the Holy Mass. So the Holy Mass has been the key to my conversion, guys. Believe you me. The Holy Mass, which is Jesus, in the Holy Mass, in the presence, His presence is truly there. He is, the Eucharist is Jesus Himself, body, blood, soul, and divinity. Jesus has been the one who saved me from my problem. I have been a pornography and masturbation addict for 32 years, believe me, guys. It has been 32 long years, and it has destroyed my life, my relationship with my wife, with my family, my kids. And by God's grace, because of the Holy Eucharist, because of Jesus in the Holy Eucharist, I was able to overcome my addiction. I have been doing pornography and masturbation for 32 years daily. Mind you, it was, if you are a doctor, I'm a nurse, it's a very, very impossible task to accomplish. But I did for a year now. Till this very day that I'm recording this, I have never, since July 2018 until now, July 2019, I have never watched any pornographic video nor did masturbation. Could you imagine the miracle? But before that, I was doing it daily for 32 years. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the gravity of change that has happened in my life? Why? Because of attending the Holy Mass daily and doing confession. And one more thing, guys, I forgot to mention, how did I overcome this? Aside from doing these 5 things in my life, you have to look at the root cause, guys, of the problem. My problem with the pornography and masturbation is, guys, everything starts in the mind. It really does. You have to guard your mind and what you see. This has also been very effective of me, how I overcome the problem. Number 1 was when there are evil thoughts. The first thing when I was trying to overcome this problem, because this has become a habit of mine. That is why I'm doing it daily, right? So when a bad thought enters my mind, initially when I was starting to do the change in my life, every 5 minutes you'll think about lustful things. Initially, because you are into it so much. So the devil will attack you every now and then, as often as he can, because he still has a strong grip on you initially, right? So what you need to do is you have to guard your thoughts. You have to guard your thoughts really. Initially, you have to guard what you are thinking. When you are thinking about a lustful or impure thoughts, what I did was I always try to pray and say, Lord, send forth your holy angel, Saint Michael, to protect me against the attacks of the devil, Lord. Please send forth your holy angel, Michael, to vanquish the devil that is trying to attack my mind. I have been praying that always. So it has been very helpful to me. And it has also changed my life. So I tried to do that every time I had this impure thoughts in my mind. So when that, I have been doing that ever since now. And then as I notice, when you are already going closer to the Lord, the devil's power is lessening. So initially, on my first month, July 2018, it was very difficult. Every 5 minutes you will think about bad thoughts. So as I did the 5 things daily, and as I guard my thoughts, eventually the devil's power is lessening. So the evil, impure thoughts that I am thinking began to lessen, until such time that there are really, in a month, it will be really removed from your thoughts. So your thoughts will be pure and clean. So initially it was very hard. It was very hard, guys. It was a daily, it was every minute battle, every 5-minute battle with the devil. These are the things you have to realize, guys. The devil is very real. He attacks you daily. In fact, every 5 minutes, every hour. You have to be real about this. It is very real, guys. So these are the 5 things that have helped me, and plus the strategy that I did was to guard my thoughts and to guard what I saw. So if you have impure thoughts, you try to pray the Saint Michael, the Archangel prayer. And if you have to guard what you see, I filter what I see in Facebook. If there are sexually suggestive images that I see in Facebook, I hide it. It has been very, very, very effective. It has been very, very effective on me. So you guard your thoughts and you guard what you see. So these 5 plus the 2 things that I did has helped me in my in my life to overcome pornography and masturbation addiction. So let's give a recap. Number one, I did the Holy Rosary day. I do the Holy Rosary daily. I do the daily Bible reading. I do the 3 o'clock prayer daily. I go to confession every often as I can, and I go to the Holy Mass as often as I can, and I guard my thoughts and I guard what I see. So these 7 things have been very helpful to me, and I thank you guys for watching my vlog. I'll see you again in my next vlog. Thank you and have a nice day. Peace.